Traumatic Incident Reduction, TIR Training. Provide life-changing help and healing for others. Learning skills that will also help you in every area of your own life. Training to become a TIR facilitator is conducted in 3 to 5 day workshops on 6 different continents in dozens of countries all over the world. The following are some informative comments about TIR training.
I was talking to someone who was thinking about getting training. I would say that it'll be some of the best money you'll spend because it's so effective. It's so effective. It doesn't take a long time to learn. It's relatively short. It's very directive. Sometimes I tell my students who are going off to graduate school in clinical psychology or counseling psychology or something like this, as a part of the course I teach a course in psychotherapy, and I incorporate part of this where they learn the basics of TIR in the context of this course. And the students are very impressed by this because we've talked about Freud, we've talked about cognitive behavioral approaches, we talked about different psychoanalytic approaches, existential gestalt, and a number of these have specific techniques that are used, but none are really manualized. There are very, very few that take you through step by step in terms of what to do. And when my students, get the sheets, and go through the step by step, of doing TIR, step 1, do this, step 2, do this, step 3, step 4, step 5. It's not like day 1 you do this, da 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 da. Day 2 you do this, da 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 da. Day 3 you do this, da 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 da. It's this is the session, and here's exactly what you do through the session. Okay? This is the kind of thing, this is the kind of detail in terms of doing what I teach therapy that you're not going to get in grad school. So if you think you're going to get this kind of detail in terms of how to do psychotherapy in graduate school, in clinical or counseling psychology, be ready for a bit of a disappointment.
Anybody can do this. Anybody who has a reasonable intelligence and a willingness to help. So what I like about this is that even though I'm not a therapist, I can still effectively train somebody, if I'm a trainer, to do this work. And both people could be just as efficacious with their clients. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that it's a great compliment because very much in the medical model, trauma especially is not considered resolvable. And so we have a lot of these war veterans from Afghanistan, you have people who've been in accidents and so on, and it's basically, we'll just, there's not much we can do. Here's some pills, maybe some sort of physical therapy, but there's not much we can do. Whereas with TIR, it's designed to be resolving somebody's distress as far as possible. It may not work for every person, but it has worked for such a large number. And we've even had a war vet who's written a book about his experience, so much distress, and in the end, finding TIR and then writing a book about it and seeing how effective it was. He cured, now going out there and able to empower other people, other war veterans, other people who've been in distress to resolve their traumas.
I think it's hard to do TIR wrong. That's a unique thing about TIR. Most therapists in the wrong hands can easily go wrong and just not do much. Whereas with TIR, even somebody who's very new to it, who has no natural gifts necessarily as a therapist, they are still likely to do pretty well with TIR. There's a good chance they'll do quite well with it.
TIR Facilitator certification is through Applied Metapsychology International. TIR training has been approved for continuing education credits for mental health professionals by several governing bodies. For a complete list of associations that have approved continuing education credits for TIR training, please visit www.metapsychology.org/training/CED. After taking a TIR training workshop, one can undertake a TIR internship with personal mentoring to gain mastery over the new skills in real-life one-on-one facilitation sessions. Additional applied metapsychology training includes TIR expanded applications, life stress reduction and case planning, and ability enhancement workshops.
It's a quick way to help people, I think. I had been trained 16 years ago as a more traditional therapist, conventional therapist, and I wished I'd had this training long ago because I have worked with adolescents, and I can see now how I could have helped in a shorter span of time working in a school setting, even using this.
TIR is the kind of approach that I wish was standard practice and standard training in every graduate program. That every graduate program that trains mental health professionals to work with people who are dealing with grappling with traumas in their life. And I think that covers a lot of the population.
I think I like the way that it's formatted in terms of it's replicatable, easy to learn, that you can have really solid rapport with somebody very early on out of 4 days training. Also that I like the system, very easy to follow, and that it's designed to create a success for the client at the end of each session. And then you get to see a build-up of successes overall and see where somebody may have come in at a certain emotional state, and after a period of time that they're just really like, wow, life feels so good. So for me, that's exciting because I've changed from law. I was on track to be doing law, and I changed to this because it really fit personal growth in terms of myself and for others.